All right, so I thought I want to like play with this format. I got a chance to see some of the video on a VR on some VR goggles in the last couple of days, and now I get what this format is. It's like you can like record way more. You can encode so much more information into the memory from all sides, so you can go back and reanalyze from different angles at any point later. So it's very interesting. So I'm going to play with that. I've got some of my notes over there, and I've got things spread around so that, you know, just to see. I want to see if the QR code shows up and all of that. Also, I haven't had a chance to really break down any of the new stuff in a while, so I figured I'd go ahead and put it on and just like do a little update kind of thing. So I've got the Raspberry Pis. See, I've got a laser now too. I'll show you that in a sec. But I've got the Raspberry Pis in these little cases, right? And I've got these batteries that were donated to me by this cat, Ali Momini, and so I've turned them into little USB thingies, right? So they have independent power, and I made this thing so I can just hang this around my neck. You know, and everything is where it needs to be. And I mean, I can show you this, but oops, that's wrong. Huh. Okay, that should be coming on, but it's not. So let me just restart that. Let's see. Actually, let's just do it like this. We'll just start fresh. Because all I have to do is I have a little USB port there, so that turns it on, and it's got a little boot script in there. I'm running a real-time kernel now, so now now the system is it's running as fast as it can. So everything's running on the internal sound cards now. Basically, you know, the same trick that allowed me to get the low latency with the sound card when over the network. Now, I basically do all the synthesis on one instance of pure data, and then I send that over a network connection to another instance, and they both use different CPUs, so it keeps keeps all that down. This is the metabit sound I've been working on. It sounds like shit right now, but it needs to be able to convey its place, the value of a finger interval. So let me just turn that off for a second because that's noisy. So you know, I've been working on that because I didn't really want to blog much because you know, it was just going to be saying the same shit over and over again, and I was kind of getting tired of that. So it's, you know, now it's been running a real-time kernel for about 3 months. It's super stable, you know, ish. You know, it's not crashing. You know, and it's as fast as the onboard sound can go, which is 20 milliseconds. It's 20 milliseconds latency. I tried it. I have one more trick I'm going to try in the near future to see if I can broadcast it faster than the latency of the sound card, and then I mean, which I can, but how to receive that on something else in the system besides the sound card, you know. So, you know, maybe using like Pi FM or something. This is something I've been thinking about for a while. So I'm going to start playing with that in the next week or so. The main thing has been to get it to where I can type with it, right? But also, I've also been working on the comfort of the body wear system, and I realized that this is a middle mesh. You know, there's an inside and an outside, and so the inside I started making these push-in little feet, and they're webbed, so they feel like snake skin, you know, on the body. You see. So it's, you know, I should soon be able to like start getting it ready to actually, you know, because I want to wear it in the winter, right? So that's the goal. That's a goal that I'm working towards. I'm not in a hurry or anything, but you know, it is something that I'm very interested in making happen in the near term. Also, I've been waiting to start integrating the EEG because I feel like I need to understand this sound more. You know, it's like, let me see. I'm just gonna use the right hand for right now. So because I got two computers, both sound cards are on. So let's see. Okay, we'll just turn this one off for a second. There's a whole other syntax. There's a whole other syntax with it now. So the goal is now, or the next, you know, the next thing that has to be sorted is the input system. And every time I'd make one, I would feel like I was just trying to force a system on the idea rather than one that was elegantly intertwined. And then it hit me to turn each grouping of 8, because this is a binary system, so it goes from 0 to 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So the thumb is the only one, and so that means it's every other finger is that, right? And so making that to where I can input data has always been a priority, but it has to be, there's a way that this is telling me that it wants to, you know, I've also, over the last few, I don't know, months at least, maybe the whole of the last year, there was a renewed interest in, or not a renewed interest, a brand new interest in having a relationship with my hands where it's not so much about what I tell my hands to do, it's about giving my hands something to do that's their own thing for their own sake. You see? See, so one of the things is now the purpose of the sound it's, it's much more interesting now. It's like as I add the EEG in, I see it more as a kind of paintbrush, that it's it's kind of painting with time. You see, like I look at music as a kind of, as not a kind of, as time modeling. That's what music is. We use it to build this architecture of time that has many dimensions of structure easily. So there's a storing information into these structures of time. I mean, I don't know if there's really anything that we can't remember if we decide we want to remember it. So remembering structure in the relationship between perception, hands, and interface. Of course, right now it sounds a little bit shit. Wait a minute. Okay, so the left hand is kind of experimental right now. Wait a second, let me plug this one into the other one real quick. So the left hand is the one that has the some of the new metabit stuff. Right? So. So right now it sounds rough because there's a bunch of stuff I haven't added yet. So it's right now it's just everything all on raw, right? But I haven't updated any of this stuff online because I needed to get to this point without having to kind of explain it, because I don't really, I'm kind of absorbing it right now and parsing it. I don't really have a whole bunch of words for it yet. This is without any change. Not any change. There's a little bit of change in this sound now, but now the exploration is more to take what's there, and I call it a perfection model now, right? So that it's a representation of perfection. It's not perfect because it's got to be fixed, but it's a representation of that idea in sound, right? And then to have these golden ratio points to interact with that model. Oh, wait a minute. Let me hook up the one. Let me take this. Because that's cool, but the other one is much better. Okay, so let's put this here. And